Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Pastor Shay, aka Chaplain G, coming back at y'all with another word of encouragement for today. So, I want to shout out this word of encouragement for anybody that's going through a rough day, a rough week, a rough year, a rough decade, whatever it is that you're going through, man. It's all of it is useful to God. Like God is using it to build you up, to make you more perfect, to make you more holy. He's giving you a testimony. He's giving you the ability to have strength for the next thing that's coming up. I heard it said one time, throughout the span of a life, right? You're either in a crisis, you're just coming out of a crisis, or you're looking forward to the next one. Like it's just always something going on in this world, and definitely the world we're living in right now, man. It seems like there's so much going on. People, it seems like, have lost their all kind of common sense. I'll just say it that way. Like it's just crazy out here in these streets. But I wanted to bring y'all this word of encouragement, just to kind of reframe whatever it is that you're going through today. I've definitely brought this verse to mind in a lot of different situations I'm going through, and so as I read it, I hope that you put it in your hip pocket, to think through, to meditate on, to ask God to give you kind of this clarity and in this frame of mind. So let me read this to you. I hope you find it encouraging, man. And let's get it kicking. This is James chapter 1, starting in verse 2. Check this out. It says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." So when it says lacking in nothing, it's not talking about like you're gonna have the ability to kind of like bypass your way around these situations, man. These situations that you're going through, they're going to come up. They're going to hit you right where it hurts most. You know what I mean? It's just the evilness of the world. It's the sin that exists in God's perfect creation. It's how things go wrong. If it's not you doing stuff, it's somebody doing stuff to you, or it's just the brokenness of the world we live in. You know what I mean? But when you go through that stuff, like when you go through things, maybe you did something, maybe you didn't. Maybe stuff is happening to you. Maybe stuff is just coming out of nowhere, like some kind of natural disaster or something like that. And James says, count it all joy. Now, this isn't talking about like a temporary happiness, right? Like the situation may like absolutely suck, but count it as joy. And there's a difference biblically between joy and happiness, and that happiness is like I need to put on this fake smile and get my way through it. It's the power of positive thinking kind of thing, right? And that's not what this is. That's not what this is talking about, man. This is talking about like gearing your affections, your mind, your soul, gearing it toward God and saying to God, man, I know you have something for me in this. I'm going to trust in you. This situation sucks, God. I am not having a good time, but I know you love me, and I know you're going to work it out to my good and for your glory. I know you are. And so for that, I count it as joy. Thank you for giving me a testimony. Thank you for giving me a way to articulate the gospel in a different way. Some of the things we go through in life, man, God wants us to kind of put it in a mind frame where we're able to see the goodness of Christ through the suckiness of our situation. And a lot of people, they fail to do that. They kind of get into like this navel gazing thing where all they can see is how things are unfair and how much they're hating life right now. And God is inviting us to count it as joy, to see Christ in the midst of our circumstance. And then once we've articulated in our minds and reminded ourselves of how good Christ is and how the gospel fits into our situation, man, God brings another person along and you're like, yo, that's why God gave me that. let me point you to Christ in the midst of the suffering too. That's what it means, man. Count it all as joy when you meet trials of various kind, because you know that testing of your faith is going to produce steadfastness. So it's like going to the gym and lifting weights, right? Nobody goes into the gym after being off for a year and puts up like 300. Nobody does that, man. You got to work yourself into it. Nobody goes to the gym and squats five racks. Like, nobody does that. It's gotta come over time. It's gotta build itself up. And that's what these various circumstances, these various trials do. They build our faith over time. So as God is seeing us through this trial and through this hard time and through this circumstance and through this crisis in our lives, we're building our faith in God, that He's reliable. He's resourceful. Anything we ask of Him, He's going to give to us. As long as we're asking in faith, man, and we're having that hope in Christ and that joy that, yes, I belong to God, and who else could I belong to, man? This is going to be awesome. That's the kind of joy that God wants us to have as we go through the circumstances. So as you're going through whatever it is you're going through, it's in particular for the folks that are going through like this religious exemption process, man. Count it as joy that you're going through this trial. Look at the testimony you're going to have that you've been able to stand firm. When all the world was looking at you and calling you foolish and making you lose your job and threatening you and you can't go on family vacations and everything, right? And you stood and you said, no, I have this faith. And I'm not going to put aside my faith for the sake of temporary pleasures, man. And that building of faith, man, God's going to use it. And I'm excited and joyous to see how He's going to use it. So I hope that's a word of encouragement for you, man. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz, because, it's free to y'all, but it means a lot over here as we're getting this thing kicked off. But I love y'all. I hope y'all doing good, man. Hit me up in the email. I'd love to pray for you. And, until next time. Grace and peace.